Hey guys, Dave from Nerdarchy. For nerds, by nerds, hanging out with these nerds.
Ain't the Nerdarch.
Ted.
Today we're doing an unorthodox build, and we're talking about the mountain that sneaks.
If you want to jump down to the description below, sign up for Nerdarchy the newsletter. It's a great way to get gaming tips, as well as learn how to game with us.
The halls of nerddom are clamoring with the calls for more unorthodox builds. And we're like, okay. I mean, we did actually do one not too long ago. We just didn't call it an unorthodox build.
Yeah, so if you were typing in unorthodox, build, you weren't going to find it.
Nobody searches. No, they don't use the search feature, do
I
you
have
guys?
faith in people that can use the internet.
That being said, we decided we would do a Goliath rogue based off of one of the characters that Nate has done previously, and he had a lot of fun with.
Yeah. I played in my my nephew Cody, who I played a game with previously. He was playing the module. I think it's Horde of the Dragon Queen or
Hot DQ, baby.
Yeah. And that was a slugfest. I was not prepared for how many things I had to fight, but it was a good game, and I got to play a giant rogue that was kind of like thuggish, but still had the abilities to get around and not be noticed.
So what's the backstory on that character?
Okay, so
page 1 through 15, go.
Well, the backstory. It's been a while. Okay, so 1 through 15. I'll give you the short version. He came down from the mountains. Actually, his family was killed by a group of people, and he was actually trailing them. And he didn't really have, aside from doing like the local hunting and gathering and things like that. So he's kind of like a little bit of wilderness, like Outlander kind of feel to him. Which
was that his background?
Yeah, so I did take as his background. He didn't get right in the face of things and attack. Like, he didn't show his strength, so it kind of like made him like a secondary kind of person in the society anyway. But he was still strong, so he wasn't weak enough that they were like, oh well, just go out and die in the wilderness. But he was kind of always that out kind of personality in the tribe. So when his family was killed, he was the only one to go seek revenge, because they're just like, well, your sons are probably going to grow up to be bakers anyway. So, yeah, he kind of just like said goodbye to his.
So he was quietly kind of shunned.
Yeah, he was shunned, and then when his wife and children died, who the rest of the clan liked more than him, they were just like, well, now we have no excuse to be treating you nice. Get out of here. So he went down the mountain and was traveling after this group, which happened to be linked to the cults and stuff involved in the actual Dragon Queen kind of thing. So that's how he got into the adventure. And he was just kind of like a mercenary and what's that called? A bounty hunter. Because he's been capturing some of them along the way, and he's trying to get to like what was the reason for this all occurring. Not to get into like everything crazy, but basically.
So he was motivated by he just needed a resolution.
Yes, he needed a resolution.
Like, why did this happen?
So that's what drew him in, because I was actually joining the quest late.
Was it more resolution than vengeance? Was that the idea? That's what it kind of sounds like.
Yeah, it was a bit of each.
Yeah.
He wanted this to be. He has like a lawful bent to him. So he wanted some kind of like sense to be made of the world after he lost everything that really was important to him, and that was kind of his like not less vengeance and more just like, this is the way the world should be, with you guys not in it anymore. That's kind of the idea. So
all right. So Outlander, Rogue, and Goliath. So we already know the class, the race,
and the background.
What was your stat selection?
Okay, so I had.
Did you roll? Use point buy?
I used point buy.
Okay.
Because I wanted to have
3/15 and 3/8.
No, I wanted to have a little more control over where like the spread was. So I had I'm trying to remember. I wish I had the character sheet with me, but I had kind of all +2s for the most part. I didn't have any really +3s.
Okay.
So I had I believe a 14 or 15 strength, 14 con, 14 dex, and then my dump stat was charisma. And that was because he was very standoffish, and from growing up,
his own people didn't even like him.
Yeah, his own people didn't even like him. You're pretty much like, you're either the most terrible jerk in the group, or you're the introvert if your own people don't like you. So he was in that case, he wasn't quiet, but he was just slow to speak. because every way he would talk, it would end up having someone would find something wrong with it. So he found that if he really thought about what he was saying and spoke slowly, that
It was a little bit better.
yeah, it was just like I'd get the point across, and they would look like the fools if they were trying to say that I said something incorrectly. So he was very like controlled in his language. He very rarely spoke during the games.
So is that 8 charisma?
Yeah.
And then
But he looked good. He was just really antisocial when it came down to stuff.
Yeah.
And that also gave him a certain level of dimness to his presence, because he was kind of always in the background. He wasn't the guy up front kind of confronting things. So even though he was a mountain of a man, he still had that, like, you kind of ignored him. He wasn't the main character of the story, it felt like, you know.
let's get to the real most important thing. What musical instrument did you take?
He actually had a musical instrument. He had a bone flute he made.
I know, because it's part of the Outlander proficiencies.
Yeah.
So Outlander, what is that? That's survival and athletics?
I believe so.
Yeah, I believe I took those. Yeah, I took acrobatic from Rogue. So I had a nimbleness to me with all the... I was strong, I was fit. I was like a parkour kind of giant man.
No, there's a lot of different ways to play the low charisma that still has an attractive appearance. Did you ever like do any of the say the wrong thing or whatnot to kind of show your abrasive nature?
Oh, my abrasive nature was...
By not talking to people.
Yeah.
Okay.
When someone greets me, I look at them like they kind of don't matter. And I go, hello, I'm Maneu Taluga. What are you doing here?
That would
And
be
I just
abrasive.
stare at you.
By the way, that's actually how Nate greets people in real life too.
Yeah, definitely. And if somebody was in a conversation, and it was like the little bard was not getting their way, I would just walk up to the front and look down at the person and go, we need to get past, you will let us pass. And that was they kind of got a little more convinced, even though I was using intimidation without using intimidation,
Right.
because I was just you're like, this person doesn't act normal. Are they going to kill me if I don't do exactly what they say?
So I'm kind of curious about your weapon selection. Being a rogue, to take advantage of sneak attack, you have to use light and finesse weapons.
Oh, yeah.
So did you go
or
with
a throne, or ranged.
a pair of short swords?
Oh, I had a pair of... Oh, no. What did I... I used short swords. Yeah, I used short sword and had a hand crossbow, which is really comical. I was like, Cody, I know you're the DM and you can do magic. Can I have like a hand crossbow that doesn't look like I'm playing with my kid's toy? But funny thing, that reminded me that it was actually my child's crossbow that I made for him, and I use his crossbow because like for the finesse kind of.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, but for like
You can go with thrown weapons as well, though, and that actually plays well into a thuggish kind of rogue's strengths without.
Yeah, I was thinking I used like kind of like not an axe, but like a thrown club.
Yeah.
Like a weighted stick, basically. That
I just threw sticks at them.
But that's not a. I believe that's not a finesse weapon. Oh wait, you can use it in a
thrown.
Yeah.
It can be ranged. Yeah, works
Yeah.
as well. Also, I kind of like the idea of kind of like reflavoring short swords as long knives. So I think for that type of character, like if you take long or short swords and call them hunting knives, and they're really big, but
Oh yeah, they weren't the like standard gladius type. They had a little bit of a curve at the end of them, kind
Yeah.
of like big Bowie knives, I guess.
yeah, absolutely. That's what I would kind of think.
I
of.
actually like when a player makes the die sacrifice of, okay, well, I'm playing a strong rogue, so I should use a rapier just for the increased. And I'm like,
You like that?
no, I don't like that.
Yeah. It's
And I'm
weird.
like, so like this would not fit.
Yeah, I refuse to do that.
So I'm like, all right, well done for the pair of short swords.
Yeah, you have to come up with something that kind of fits the theme and the flavor. Otherwise, it just looks ridiculous.
And it was nice because I could still use that that was that strength that you can use. That's like can you carry like double your weight or something like that. So that
the
that
class
came
feature. Yeah.
when I had to grab 2 unconscious people and drag them away into the hallway.
Helpful.
That came in really helpful. So there was like it was nice not being the little halfling that's just like, all right, I can kill people with this, but that's it. I'm done after that. I run away into the darkness. Yeah. So
It's like, I'll just lift
it
you
felt
up and run.
by being that that
carry more
unorthodox-
loot that way.
Yeah, there was that too. By being that unorthodox build, I felt like I was more a competent character and a competent personality, even though my personality for like interaction sucked. So it was like, I enjoyed playing the character. I should play it some more.
I like playing the off-kilter characters. What do you guys think? What do you think of Nate's mountain that sneaks? Put it in the comments below while you're at it. Like, share, and subscribe.
You can check us out over at nerdarchy.com.
Or you can hang out with us over on Facebook.
So until next time,
Stay nerdy.